Hi everyone, as promised, I am back to give you a little insight on my first impressions in my first week here in Ireland. Um, so I was a little worried when I first came about maybe there being a language barrier since they have an accent, but it turns out that they really are, especially the professors. Once you get used to it, you can understand them fairly clearly. We've been a few different places, so some of the more rural areas have a stronger, thicker accent, which is a little bit tougher to decipher, but not too bad. All in all, it's very, very audible. Um, so I wanted to talk quickly about my classes, since that was one of my concerns, was how the curriculum was going to be presented and everything. First of all, the professors are extremely friendly and very relaxed. The classroom is a very laid back, fun environment to be in. They don't use formal titles such as professor or doctor. Our professor's name is Bernie McCarthy, and Miss Emma Bidwell, so it's Bernie or Emma. And it's very fun to just kind of have that friend that you look up to relationship, since they are teaching us a whole world of interesting, cool stuff about the culture and our particular focus of study. Some of the things we've done so far in class have been readings of a few of the myths from some of the older times, such as the Children of Lear, the Wooing of Etain, and Daniel O'Rourke, and just kind of seeing how over time, certain influences and translations have changed or superimposed different aspects of these myths into something different, such as like the Christian wave coming to Ireland, which was originally a Celtic or pagan uh, country. So you can see how the blending of the two religions is presented in these stories. Also, how they have influenced times and change and war and politics and just the pride of the Irish people altogether, that they still hold on to these stories and want to tell these stories and believe even some of the aspects of these stories. It's very cool to see how deep the culture runs. Very influential for me. Um, so, for an example of how kind of some of the Irish persona has been developed through some of these myths and legends. One of the stories, Daniel O'Rourke, that we read, he's kind of a drunk Irishman, and a lot of times when you think of the Irish, you think of the fighting, drunk, red-haired Irish. So it was kind of fun to see where that persona kind of came from out of that particular story that we had just read. We also did a little bit today, especially on the background of the Book of Kells, its origins, its importance, and we're actually going on Friday to Trinity College in Dublin, and we'll see that among other things. But it's very interesting just to see the time and effort that went into the illuminating manuscripts and the stories and such behind it. Um, as far as campus life, it's a pretty large campus. Like at Nova, it's not a live-on campus. There are no dorms or student housing, so that's a little different. It's a mixed apartment. So there's I think 4 or 5 different apartments in every house that are composed of about 5 or 6 different rooms, a kitchen, and a living area. We have 4 different people, including myself, on our apartment in our building, Rowan House. It's cute, it's different, you get used to your accommodations at home, and it's a little humbling because it is very cut and dry. You get a desk, you get a shower, you get a bed, you get a mirror, and outlet plugs, but it's all the essentials. It's everything you need. You can't expect to be staying in a 5-star hotel when you're living on a campus. So that was a little different for me, but it's been a nice experience thus far, being able to kind of meet and intermingle with people from different areas of the United States. I was a little shocked, speaking on that at this program we are 106 people for the 3 weeks over the summer, and all of us are actually from the United States. It was a common consensus. Most of us believed that we would be meeting people from different countries and cultures, but it's still fun. You still get to learn a lot about other people, their campuses, their background, and share common interests. So it's been good. They have a bike path. You can rent bikes here, so it's a very active, healthy type campus. They have free bike rentals. We actually biked into Limerick. It's about a 15-minute bike ride, but it goes right along the Shannon River from pretty much from our dorms to the city, so that's nice. Also, they've kind of planned, I don't know if this is a regular thing, if it's just for us over the summer, but they had like fun little events. Last night we had a trivia night, which was very fun. It was a kind of a jumble of American and Irish questions, so it was fun to see kind of what the real answers were and what people came up with. Um, Also, we have done lots of excursions. Some have been planned by the university for this program, others were optional. They weren't very expensive. It was €30, which in US is about $33. So totally worth it. Bus ride, whole day. You get a little tour guide. You get entry to all the um, sites that you go to. One of the ones that we had that was included so far was a trip to downtown Limerick, the Milk Market, and Bunratty Castle and Folk Park. The Milk Market was amazing. I am a total cheese fanatic, and there was so much local, fresh, Irish and European cheese. It was just amazing. Among like fresh fruits and pastries and all kinds of crafts and the such. Just a nice little market. It was really very nice to see, very cool, because I guess the closest thing I can compare that to at home would be like a street festival or something where you have a bunch of little different vendors, but it's a totally different feel. Um, Bunratty Castle was pretty cool. We ate lunch at Dirty Nelly's, which is an old time restaurant, very famous, and Bunratty was cool. We get to go through. You got a nice view of the Irish countryside and downtown Limerick, as well as the Shannon River from the top of the castle. There was a little folk park that had gardens and horses and cows and all the lot. I think so far my favorite one has been our excursion to Blarney and Cork, which wasn't optional, but while I'm here, you may as well, while in Ireland. Um, Blarney Castle was exquisite. The grounds were perfectly manicured and very, very interesting. They had all kinds of ruins from like Druid circles and the Witch Stone, the Dolmen, which is like an old tomb, and then of course the most famous when you think of Ireland is the Blarney Stone, which is atop the Blarney Castle, and you actually have to lean over a ledge at the top of the castle while somebody's holding your feet and bend over backwards to kiss the Blarney Stone. So quite exhilarating, lots of fun, and just touring around and seeing all that was fun. Going into the city of Cork, very urban but also small town, city center type, old timey feel. The accent's a little harsher there, but still people are very kind. Not like a metropolitan big city where you get people in the hustle and bustle and going fast and needing to bump into things. So a lot of fun. Just a few fun facts before I go that I've had a great time doing, like experiencing, are like some of the different words that the Irish use compared to what the American people use. For example, what we would call a biscuit, such as biscuits with gravy or something, they would call a scone. And what we would call a cookie, they call a biscuit. We actually had a full-on debate about that with a couple of the international student advisors that were here, so it's kind of fun. They're very kind and joking, and they get it. Also, the use of the word awesome is apparently a very American thing to do and say. They don't really use that word here in Ireland. They have no snakes, no mosquitoes, no ticks, and so far it has been absolutely gorgeous. It's only rained one day. So they also have everything closes relatively early, around like 5:30 or 6, except for some of the pubs. And this is because they have a living wage, so nobody works more than 38 hours. Nobody's working two jobs. Very cool. And also, there are very well-behaved dogs everywhere. People own them. They're not on leashes, but they won't run up to you. They don't bark. They're just everywhere. So that's kind of cool because who doesn't love dogs? So I am gonna go ahead and come to a close here for this update. But I have a few pictures that I'd like to include to kind of show you of some of the things that I've done here, and a little bit of pictures of the campus and Limerick and Blarney and such, and a little clip of Irish music because it was really cool. So I hope to see you guys next when I come back and tell you more about my experience. It's been fantastic so far, and I'm glad to have you guys along with me. Bye.